Honorable Consul General of India, Durban, Mr. Anish Rajan, Director Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Ms. Ella Gandhi, Ms. Shristi Harinarayan, distinguished online guests, on behalf of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, it gives me great pleasure to invite you to today's program, the 74th Independence Day celebrations of India. To begin today's program, I would like to invite our Honorable High Commissioner of India in South Africa, His Excellency Mr. Jaydeep Sakar, for his remarks.
I wish to convey my warm greetings to all members of the Indian community on the solemn and joyful occasion of India's Independence Day. This year we are meeting virtually, but I know that the patriotism, the love, and the gratitude that we all have for our motherland is no less. This year has been an extremely difficult year for the world and, in particular, for our communities everywhere, including in South Africa. Following the disruption of travel, a large number of Indians were stranded here in South Africa. But I'm extremely happy to share with all of you that the Indian community rose together as one to help and assist in the repatriation of our fellow citizens, including those who were most in distress. The Indian associations, the religious communities, the Indian business communities, and all others in Johannesburg, in Durban, in Cape Town, extended a ready hand to help our fellow citizens, either by providing food, shelter, or even funds for the repatriation. Eventually, through a number of flights of South African Airways and under the Vande Bharat mission of Air India and multiple charter flights organized by Indian associations and charter companies, we have been able to repatriate nearly 2,000 Indians who have now gone back home to their families. India, as a major developing country and in a way the pharmacy of the world, has done its bit for the COVID crisis. We have extended assistance of testing kits, protective gear, and particularly medicines to more than 90 countries in the world. India quickly removed restrictions on the export of medicines, particularly paracetamol and hydroxychloroquine. And this was widely appreciated. In a telephone call, the President of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, had with the Indian Prime Minister, he expressed his gratitude for the steps taken by India. Our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, has also offered all support to the African Union as it tackles the corona crisis in Africa. So friends, the crisis proves that old saying with which we are all familiar, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. The good news is that the crisis, the number of cases seems to be coming down, and I pray and wish that we will soon be able to resume our normal activities, including closer and stronger interactions within the Indian community. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Our next guest speaker is Ms. Ella Gandhi, Gandhian scholar and chairman of the Gandhi Development Trust, and also granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi.
My greetings and congratulations on the 73rd anniversary of India's independence from colonial bondage. It is to the credit of India, and in particular Gandhiji, who from the earliest years had constantly raised issues of South Africa in the Indian National Congress with requests to support the struggle of the people of South Africa. But in February 1947, even before India's independence, Gandhiji issued a press statement supporting the decision of the Natal Indian Congress, the Transvaal Indian Congress, the Colored People's Congress, and the African National Congress to refrain from taking part in the celebrations planned for the royal visit to South Africa. And in another statement in May 1947, he said Field Marshal Smuts is a trustee for Western civilization. I still cling to the hope that he will not sustain it on the suppression of Asiatics and Africans. South Africa should present a blend of the three. At the United Nations, soon after India was admitted as a member, Vijayalakshmi Pandit raised the issue of South Africa's oppressive system and started the campaign for the boycott of South Africa. So the liberation of India is closely tied to South Africa's struggle for liberation. We wish you all the best on the 73rd anniversary, and may it be celebrated to reflect the views of Gandhiji and the earlier friendship that was initiated with South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam G, for those wonderful words. Now we will have a song rendition titled Bharati Yaru by Miss Archana Sridhar. Miss Archana Sridhar is a hospital pharmacist with a passion in the art of Carnatic classical music and dance. She is also a radio presenter on 104.8 FM. She manages Karnataka, a Carnatic music band promoting Carnatic classical music by the way of concert and shows in South Africa.
Namaste and a very happy Independence Day to all of you. Music is a powerful medium of one's expression. Classical music delves on the concept of bhakti or devotion, and one such form of devotion is patriotism, where respect is shown to uphold and secure the pride of one's nation. Mayuram Vishwanath Shastri composed a lot of classical compositions known as Desha Bhakti compositions. Today I will be rendering one such composition called Bharatiya Runavu Yendendu Onde in the language Kannada. This is set to a 5-beat cycle. ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ನೂರು ಮತ ನಮಗಿರಲಿ, ನೂರು ಮಾತಾಗಿರಲಿ, ನೂರು ಮತ ನಮಗಿರಲಿ, ನೂರು ಮಾತಾಗಿರಲಿ. ನಾಡಿನ ಜನಮನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ, ನಾಡಿನ ಜನಮನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ. ನಾಡ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ, ನಾಡ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರದಿಂದ ಕನ್ಯಾಕುಮಾರಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಕಂಗೊಳಿಪ ತಾಯ್ನಾಡ ಪ್ರಾಣಭೂಮಿಗಿಲೆ ಮಗೆ. ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರದಿಂದ ಕನ್ಯಾಕುಮಾರಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಕಂಗೊಳಿಪ ತಾಯ್ನಾಡೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಭೂಮಿಗಿಲೆ ಮಗೆ. ಕುಲಭೇದ ನೆಲಭೇದ ಜಾತಿ ಭೇದವ ತೊರೆದು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೊಂದಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಕುಲಭೇದ ನೆಲಭೇದ ಜಾತಿ ಭೇದವ ತೊರೆದು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೊಂದಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನಾವು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೆಯುವೆವು ಮುಂದೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾರತೀಯ.
Thank you, Miss Archana Sridhar, for that beautiful song. Now we will have a song rendition titled "A Mere Watan Ke Logo" by Miss Prithvi Kapoor Mat. Miss Prithvi Kapoor Mat started her music journey at the tender age of 5 years and under the tutelage of her very own mother, Vidushi Indumati, and continued under the guidance of Professor Nagamani Srinath and Vidwan Srinath. She currently teaches Carnatic music to young learners.
नमस्ते, नमस्कार to all my fellow Indians. सभी भारतीयों को स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. I would like to extend my humble gratitude to the Indian Consulate Cultural Center for this opportunity. Today I'll be presenting a song that is very close to every Indian's heart, a song that is indeed timeless, and I'm very sure that each one of us whose heart beats for our country will feel the patriotism shed through the song. An exceptionally moving lyrics complements this composition, and Lataji's voice is simply cherry on top. So here goes my personal favorite, "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo." Ae mere watan ke logo, tum khoob laga lo nara, ye shubh din hai hum sabka, लहरा लो तिरंगा प्यारा, पर मत भूलो सीमा पर वीरों ने है प्राण गवाए, कुछ याद उन्हें भी कर लो, कुछ याद उन्हें भी जो लौट के घर ना आए, जो लौट के घर ना आए। है मेरे वतन के लोगों, जरा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। जब घायल हुआ हिमालय, खतरे में पड़ी आजादी, जब तक थी सांस लड़े वो, जब तक थी सांस लड़े वो, फिर अपनी लाश बिछा दी, संगीन पे धर कर माता हो सो गए अमर बलिदानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। जब देश में थी दिवाली, वो खेल रहे थे होली, जब हम बैठे थे घर जब हम बैठे थे घरों में वो झेल रहे थे गोली। थे धन्य जवान वो अपने, थी धन्य वो उनकी जवानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। थी खून से लथपथ काया, फिर भी बंदूक उठा के 10-10 को एक ने मारा, फिर गिर गए होश गंवा के। जब अंत समय आया तो, जब अंत समय आया तो कह गए कि अब मरते हैं। खुश रहना देश के प्यारों, खुश रहना देश के प्यारों, अब हम तो सफर करते हैं, अब हम तो सफर करते हैं। क्या लोग थे वो दीवाने, क्या लोग थे वो अभिमानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। तुम भूल न जाओ उनको, इसलिए कहीं ये कहानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। जय हिंद, जय हिंद की सेना, जय हिंद, जय हिंद की सेना, जय हिंद, जय हिंद, जय हिंद। Happy Independence Day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Prithvi Kapoor Math, for that lovely song. We have talks on a journey of 73 years of progress and prosperity.
Namaskar. Dear fellow Indians, my husband Atul, my children Yagna and Ishan, me, Ambika Vij, are so proud to be celebrating with you all our revered 74th Independence Day today. This makes my heart soar with joy and my eyes tear up with exuberance, as I am sure it's the same with you all. India has had an eminent presence and grandiose, may it be our artful culture or cultured arts and theatre. Since centuries, Indian art and entertainment have made a mark globally and have been appreciated since many ages. Today, I would like to throw the spotlight on the stage, literally. Talking about the evolution of theatre in India from tents and folklore to the king's courts, and the journey from real life connecting to real life that everyone knows and loves as Bollywood today. The earliest contribution to the Indian theatre dates back from the 2nd century to the 4th century BC. It comes from Bharat Muni, who wrote the 36 books on Natya Shastra. It is the earliest text on dramaturgy in the world. The theatre in India began in a narrative form, when literature, music, dance, movement, mime, painting, sculpture, architecture, all of them come together. It's called Natya, that's in Hindi, and theatre in English. This format that is still followed in Bollywood today. It can be divided into 3 distinctive periods: the classical, the traditional, and the modern. The classical period includes the writings and practices of theatre up to 1000 AD. Playwrights like Bhas, Kalidas contributed greatly by creating their dramatic pieces in Sanskrit. Traditional or folk art theatre came from rural roots. It was much simpler, immediate, improvisational form of theatre like Ram Leela, Ras Leela, Nautanki, etc. The coming of India's colonial period marked the third phase. No more was it about the big heroes and gods, their seemingly impossible feats, but theatre was to become a reflection of the common man, his life and his struggles. So theatre has evolved and come a long way, as well as time and human thoughts have evolved. I was very lucky to be born in a family that imparted in us the pride of rich Indian culture, that is our heritage, which now we pass on to our children. I remember going for plays, musicals, dance performances to the popular theatres in Delhi. The season of viewing the pious Ram Leela was always an event we were ever ready to experience. The theatre has given birth to many artists, first as stage actors and then moving on to Tinseltown of Mumbai. Actors like Shah Rukh Khan, Richa Chadda, late Irfan Khan, Boman Irani, Rajnikant Sir and many more ace performers. I am sure you have recognized these names immediately. So make sure that you support this genre of performing arts, which has deep-rooted cultural history for all of us. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Hello fellow Indians and friends of India. It's an honor and privilege to celebrate this Independence Day under a completely different set of situation which is now being called the new normal. While that has changed, some things are still the same. The spirit, for example, in which our forefathers fought for our freedom still remains the same. You might recall that India fought for its freedom not merely by guns and bullets, but also by adopting the mantra of Swadeshi. Swadeshi means buying and using local Indian products. Today, when we talk about Atmanirbharta, it still remains pretty much the same spirit. In an India which lives in a rapidly globalizing world today, at least half of our GDP contribution comes from international trade. So therefore, in today's times, the choices which we make are still as relevant today as they were before when the independence struggle took place. For example, today, the choices we make are about the search engine we might choose for, the brand of phone or any other products that we use, or even the apps which we install or uninstall on our phone. These choices will determine in a global market which companies improve their market capitalization, which companies improve their brand strength, and therefore our choices have the ability to influence these bigger implications in the global economy. If India has to remain as a free and a powerful nation in the world, our choices are going to determine where we stand in the future. So on this Independence Day, let's make a resolution to support India by making the right choices. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Namaste, this is Saili Patil, originally from Pune. I'm here to present a small segment on India's technological advancements in this last year for the 74th Independence Day celebrations here at the Consulate in South Africa. Now, technology is a really vast and broad topic, and it is impossible to cover just about every capability that India has achieved in this last year. And hence, I'm only going to look at what I call the big five. Number one, solar. The Indian government has invested heavily in solar and solar tech and solar space tech, just as every other ecologically and environmentally conscious government out there. To reduce India's dependencies on coal, the Indian government has come up with brilliant ideas to make solar technology available at the grassroots levels of our country. What that means is that by incentivizing private players to penetrate deep into the market, solar tech is now available on a household, society, and locality level that people are making use of. Number two in our big five are digital payments. Post demonetization, the Indian government has stressed heavily on going cashless and digitalizing payments. What this means is that there's a heavy stress on not making cash payments that are hard to account for and that are the biggest contributors to hoarding black money. By providing the country with technological advancements like UPIs or unified payment interfaces, as well as linking Aadhaar technology with your digitalized payments, the GOI has made it possible for the Indian economy to grow more and more cashless as the years go by. From the years gone by, last year we achieved 189% hike in digital transactions, which accounted for 4.6 trillion rupees in payments themselves. This was a phenomenal achievement and ensures that Indian government is committed to reducing black money with the use of technology. Number 3 in our big 5 is space tech. Yes, ISRO has been making prime time headlines, but it has also been winning hearts. Not just that, it has big plans for the coming years. Along with some 300 odd private players in the space tech domain that have been heavily incentivized by the Indian government, ISRO has big plans for the upcoming years. These include, but are not limited to, sending 24 orbiting satellites in space in as less as 12 months from now. The first satellite is meant to be launched in November, as early as November. The idea is to have satellites in space that are capable of taking 24-hour imagery of the Earth and provide AI-backed intelligence and analytics reports to India. What this means is that there are phenomenal achievements waiting to be achieved in defense, in any other area, any other domain that uses space tech. Number 4 in our big 5 are AR and VR technologies, or rather augmented reality and virtual reality technologies. Upcoming startups such as Tesseract and Imagica are giving tough competition to any other tech giants that are already existing in this industry. China, Japan, almost everybody wants a big piece of this upcoming pie. What the Google Glass promised but could not deliver, what Microsoft HoloLens promised but could not deliver, is something that Indian tech companies are now looking to conquer and explore and provide to the whole world. This is absolutely fascinating, as Indian government has taken special note of this upcoming industry and has heavily incentivized it through various policy measures. Very soon, who knows, we're going to be wearing a headset and playing fantastic games right here in our living rooms, or even watching the IPL as if we were watching it live in real. Yes, it is possible. These technologies are phenomenal and they are very upcoming right here in India. And last but not the least, number 5 in our big 5 is of course our IT workforce. Human resources or population has been one of the biggest strengths of India, and our IT talent definitely is the crown on top. We have 1.5 million engineers that pass out each year, and that is our biggest strength. We have some of the best brains in the industry that can give tough competition to just about any country in the world. And hence, we are of course a digital hub in terms of exporting both IT services as well as IT people as well as IT software. Last year, our IT exports, services exports hit 70 billion USD. And if that wasn't enough, our IT software exports reached 28 billion USD. That's phenomenal. If that wasn't enough already, the Indian government has big plans for this industry. They have started several entrepreneurial hubs just for this tech industry, which is considered a baby for India. And plus there's an Atmanirbhar campaign going on in India, which means that self-reliance is what Indian government is stressing on. Tech engineers, tech companies, tech startups are all invited to create something homegrown to provide to local as well as international populations. There is also a rising sentiment in India to ban the apps, software, and websites and portals and just about any products of certain countries. And that is also giving a big push to the homegrown local IT industry. And we really hope that they come up with some fantastic alternatives that will wow the world. So that was it. In terms of technology, India is doing pretty well. And considering that the Indian government has laid special focus on tech itself, that means that India is well on its way to achieving all its tech dreams and becoming a tech giant sooner rather than later. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed my segment.
Thank you very much. Now we will have a song rendition titled "E Watan Humko Teri Kasam" by Dr. Salesh Vinay Joshi. Dr. Joshi is currently working as a scientist at the South African Sugar Research Institute from 2006. He is also an honorary lecturer since 2013 at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in Durban.
नमस्कार। इस साल हम भारतवासी 74वां स्वतंत्र दिवस मना रहे हैं। इस शुभ अवसर पर आप सबको बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं। इस पावन दिवस पर मैं अपनी शुभकामनाएं हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और उनके सारे अनुयायियों को प्रस्तुत करता हूं। पिछले कुछ साल भारत और भारतवासियों के लिए बहुत कामयाब रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे प्यारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत ने वो सब हासिल किया है जो हम सोचते हुए भी दशकों से नहीं कर पाए। आज इस खुशी के मौके पर मैं योगदान स्वरूप एक गाना पेश कर रहा हूं। ये गाना शहीद फिल्म से लिया गया है। गाने के बोल है, ए वतन हमको तेरी कसम। उम्मीद है आप सबको ये पसंद आएगा। गाना शुरू करने से पहले मुझे इस दिवस पर योगदान देने के लिए मैं स्वामी विवेकानंद कल्चर सेंटर के डायरेक्टर श्री योगी जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा। ए वतन हमको तेरी कसम, तेरी राहों में जा तक लुटा जाएंगे। फूल क्या चीज है तेरे कदमों में, हम भेंट अपने सरों की चढ़ा जाएंगे। ए वतन। कोई पंजाब से, कोई महाराष्ट्र से, कोई यूपी से है, कोई बंगाल से, तेरी पूजा के थाली में लाए हैं हम। फूल हर रंग के आज हर डाल के, नाम कुछ भी सही पर लगन एक है। जोत से जोत दिल की जगा जाएंगे। ए वतन। तेरी जानिब उठी जो कहर की नजर, उस नजर को झुका के ही दम लेंगे हम। तेरी जानिब उठी जो कहर की नजर, उस नजर को झुका के ही दम लेंगे हम। तेरी धरती पे है जो कदम घर का, उस कदम का निशा तक मिटा देंगे हम। जो भी दीवार आएगी अब सामने, ठोकरों से उसे हम गिरा जाएंगे। ए वतन हमको तेरी कसम, तेरी राहों में जा तक लुटा जाएंगे। ए वतन। जय हिंद।
Thank you, Dr. Salesh Joshi, for that beautiful song. Now we will have multilingual messages from people of all parts of the world wishing India a very happy Independence Day.
भारत माता के स्वतंत्रता दिवस के अवसर पर गिरमिटिया लोगन से बधाई। À l'occasion 74e anniversaire de l'indépendance de l'Inde, nous, les peuples des îles, nous souhaitons tous nos frères et sœurs indiens bonne fête.
Meu nome é Eliane Fialos, sou do Brasil e desejo feliz dia da independência da Índia para todos. Namastê.
My name is Abdurrahman al-Sharqawi from Egypt. I'm Egyptian and I speak Arabic language. كل عام وأنتم بخير بمناسبة العيد الوطني للهند.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Aurélita et je souhaite à l'Inde un joyeux jour de l'indépendance. Namaste.
Jai Siya Ram. Happy Independence Day, India. Loknath Shukla from Suriname. Jai Hind.
Olá, o meu nome é Fátima, eu sou do Brasil e eu estou aqui para parabenizar a Índia pelos 74 anos de independência. E eu espero do fundo do meu coração que as relações Índia-Brasil cresçam cada vez mais e que se fortaleçam a cada ano. Namastê.
আমি এস.এম. আব্রাহাম লিঙ্কন, প্রতিষ্ঠাতা ও চেয়ারম্যান উত্তরবঙ্গ জাদুঘর নতুন শহর কুড়িগ্রাম, বাংলাদেশ। ভারতীয় রাষ্ট্রের মহান স্বাধীনতা দিবসে আমি ভারতীয় জনগণকে রক্তিম অভিবাদন জানাই।
I am Luciana from Italy and I speak Italian. And you? Daniele from Italy? Ok. 1, 2, 3. Buona festa dell'indipendenza!
Buona festa dell'indipendenza!
كل سنة وانتم طيبين اخواتنا الهنود في الهند. الحمد لله عيد حرية سعيد، وان شاء الله تدوموا في حرية على طول يا رب.
Hallo, ich heiße Karen Taylor, ich komme aus KwaZulu-Natal. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Unabhängigkeitstag Indiens.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम इजुर है। मैं जापान से हूँ। आज 15 अगस्त स्वतंत्रता दिवस। हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे। स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। こんにちは、石井ゆずるです。8月15日はインドの独立の記念日です。インド独立の心から祝福しております。
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jenny Chevalier, j'habite à KwaZulu-Natal et je voulais vous souhaiter une bonne fête de l'indépendance à tous les Indiens. Merci.
Salam, Hindustan, Mustaqbil Junum Mubarak.
Pranam a todos, mi nombre es María Teresa Fredes, soy de Buenos Aires, Argentina, y les deseo un muy feliz día de independencia de la India. Namaste.
Mimi Lydia Masaha kutoka Kenya, nawatakia ndugu zangu na dada zangu wa India siku njema yenye furaha mnapohitimisha miaka 74 ya uhuru.
Jai Hind.
Hello, I'm Maria. I'm from Indonesia. Happy Independence Day. Or I should say in Indonesian, I guess. Selamat merayakan Hari Raya Kemerdekaan. I hope you have wonderful Independence Day. Bye-bye.
Hello everybody. I am Behnam from Iran. I'd like to congratulate Indian people the Independence Day, and I'd like to say in Persian سال روز استقلال هند مبارک. Thank you.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sophie et je souhaite à l'Inde un très beau 74e anniversaire de l'indépendance.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sylvie et je souhaite un très beau 74e anniversaire d'indépendance à l'Inde.
Botani mzi wase-India, igama lami ngingusindiswa uMonica waBoyce e-Eastern Cape. Ndinqwenelela usuku olumnandi ngale mini yokubhiyozela usuku lwenu lwenkululeko. Enkosi, ndiyabulela, namaste.
Hello everybody, my name is Seval. I'm from Turkey. Happy Independence Day to India. Bağımsızlık gününüz kutlu olsun.
Nara alitatila wipusa India, nakipali samazono kutoka freestyle.
我叫艾琳，我来自于中国，印度国庆节快乐！
Ngibingelele igama uThembeka Vezidladla, ngisemkhakheni wezomsakazo, ngihlala KwaZulu Natal. Mangikubeke kucaceke ukuthi mhla ziyi-15 kuyona le nyanga yabantu besifazane ngizobe ngibungaza kanye nabantu baseNdiya usuku lwabo okuyi-India Independence Day.
Gelukkige Onafhankelijkheidsdag Indië. Ek is Tila Kilwer van die Vrij.
Bonne fête de l'indépendance, India.
Hej, det här är Gunnel i Stockholm som önskar er alla allt gott på Indiens självständighetsdag den 15 augusti 2020. Hej då!
Thank you very much to everyone for that wonderful message in your own language. Now we will have a Bharatanatyam dance performance by Miss Purvi Raman Akasam. Miss Purvi Akasam is learning dance with Natya Ananda School of Fine Arts under the tutelage of Srimati Barushka Patta. This dance is titled Bhumanjali in praise of Mother Bhumi Devi, praising all her creations, the mountains, the rivers, and her attributes of her beauty. The very essence of life is born from her bosom.
Tam tatam dana dim tadim dana dana kugina dana kina tajam tam tatam dana dim tadim dana dana kugina dana kina tajam tam tatam dana dim tadim dana 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 kita tajam tam tatam dana tim tadim dana dana kukina dana kita tajam tam tatam dana tim tadim dana dana kukina dana kita tajam tam tatam dana tim tadim dana dana kukina dana kita tajam jadu tajam kida kudana kida 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 kita tajam drikurta kata drikurta 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 kata drikurta 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 kata drikurta drikurta tadanku tom takata dingina tom kida ku janno takatam tatam tadikita janno ku janno takadim tati tadikita kida ku janno takadu ku dibi takina tom tadingina tom takata dingina tom takadiku tadingina tom kida ku janno takadu ku dibi takina tom tadingina tom takata dingina tom takadiku tadingina tom kida ku janno takadu ku dibi takina tom tadingina tom takata dingina tom takadiku tadingina tom Vishnu Shakti Sabutpande Sarvavarna Mahitane Adekaratna Sampanne Bhubi Devi Namostute Vishnu Shakti Sabutpande Sarvavarna Mahitane Adekaratna Sampanne Bhubi Devi Namostute Drikurta 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 ಗಣಂಕು ತಕದಿಕು ತಕತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ಕಿಡಕು ಜಣ್ಣು ತಕತಾಂ ತತಾಂ ತರಿಗಿಡ ಜಣ್ಣುಕು ಜಣ್ಣು ತಕ ಏಂ ತದಿ ತರಿಗಿಡ ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕದಿಕು ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕದಿಕು ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ತಕದಿಕು ತದಿಂಗಿಡತು ಸಮುದ್ರ ಬಸನೆ ದೇವಿ ಪರ್ವತಸ್ತನ ಮಂಟಲಿ ನಾಟ್ಯಂ ಕರಿಷಿ ಭೂದೇವಿ ಪಾದಕಾದಂ ಕ್ಷಮಸ್ವ ಮೇ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಬಸನೆ ದೇವಿ ಪರ್ವತಸ್ತನ ಮಂಟಲಿ ನಾಟ್ಯಂ ಕರಿಷಿ ಭೂದೇವಿ ಪಾದಕಾದಂ ಕ್ಷಮಸ್ವ ಮೇ.
Thank you very much, Miss Purvi. Now we will have messages by children titled Bala Abhivekti.
नमस्ते, आप सभी भारतीयों को स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। जय हिंद।
नमस्ते, મારું નામ દયાનંદા છે. સ્વતંત્રતા દિવસની ખૂબ શુભકામના.
నమస్కారం.
నమస్కారం.
నా పేరు
నా పేరు
సమన్వి.
తమవి.
మా ఊరు
మా ఊరు
ఆలమూరు,
ఆలమూరు,
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్
రాష్ట్రం.
రాష్ట్రం.
అందరికీ
అందరికీ
స్వతంత్ర దినోత్సవ
స్వతంత్రత
శుభాకాంక్షలు.
शुभकामनाएं. मैं वैनल में वाला हूँ राजस्थान भारत से. हेलो एंड नमस्ते एवरीबॉडी. हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे. जय हिंद. आप सभी भारतीयों को स्वतंत्रता दिवस की शुभकामनाएं. जय हिंद. माझे नाव आरवी पुनरिका आहे. मी औरंगाबाद महाराष्ट्राचे आहे. तुम्हा सर्वांना स्वतंत्र दिनाच्या हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. भारत माता की जय. அனைவருக்கும் தின இனிய சுதந்திர தின வாழ்த்துக்கள். என் பேர் பபிஷியா. என் ஊரு தமிழ். தாய் தமிழ்நாடு. என்னோட தாய்மொழி தமிழ். जय हिंद. वणक्कम.
Namaste, my name is Abhinav. To all proud Indians, Happy Independence Day. आपल्या सर्वांना स्वातंत्र्य दिवसाच्या शुभेच्छा. Thank you.
Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. મારું નામ મિશેલ બીકા છે. 15મી ઓગસ્ટ સ્વતંત્રતા દિવસની શુભેચ્છા અને હાર્દિક શુભકામનાએ. જય હિન્દ. વંદે માતરમ.
Hello, my name is Tanvi. I'm from Tuticorin. Vanakkam. Yen Desam India. Uchmai Desam. Happy Independence Day.
સર્વને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. મારું નામ જીયાનંદ છે.
હું કેપ્ટન ટીચુ મનમાં સ્વતંત્ર શબ્દોમાં વિશ્વાસ આપના ભૂમિમાં ગૌરવ ચાલો આ દિવસ स्वतंत्र दिन पर राष्ट्र ने सलाम करे जय हिंद
My name is Pratish Dawar. My name is Rehan Dawar. We are from Ludhiana, Punjab, India. Jana Gana Mana Adinayak Jayo He Bharat Bhagya Vidata. Punjab, Sindhu, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravid, Utkal, Banga, Vindhyachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uchchal, Jaladi, Taranga. तब शुभ नामे गाहे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
जय हिंद
जय हिंद
Thank you very much for those sweet and lovely messages. Now we will have a patriotic song by Jivesh Pushkar Akasam and Miss Purvi Raman Akasam. They are both learning music under the tutelage of Srimati Prithvi Kapurmat.
దేశం మనదే దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే తేజం మనదే దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే నీతి మనదే మనదే జాతి మనదే జాతి మనదే నీతి మనదే జాతి మనదే ప్రజల అందదండ మనదే అందాల బంధం ఉంది నేలలో ఆత్మీయ రాగం ఉంది ఈ గాలిలో ఏ కులమైన ఏ కులమైన ఏ మతమైన ఏ మతమైన ఏ కులమైన ఏ మతమైన భరత మాతకొకటే లేరా ఎన్ని భేదాలున్నా మాకెన్ని తేడాలున్నా ఎన్ని భేదాలున్నా మాకెన్ని తేడాలున్నా దేశమంటే ఏకమౌతు అంటా ఈ వేళ వందే మాతరం అందామందరం వందే మాతరం అందామందరం దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే నీతి మనదే జాతి మనదే ప్రజల అందదండ మనదే అందాల బంధం ఉంది నేలలో ఆత్మీయ రాగం ఉంది ఈ గాలిలో ఏ కులమైన ఏ మతమైన భరత మాతకొకటే లేరా రాజులు అయినా పేదలు అయినా భరత మాత సుతులే లేరా ఎన్ని దేశాలున్నా మాకెన్ని దోషాలున్నా దేశమంటే ప్రాణమిస్తాం అంటా ఈ వేళ వందే మాతరం అందామందరం వందే మాతరం అందామందరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం
Happy Independence Day.
India's association with sports is as old as its history. Known to some and not known to many, Kalaripattu, a form of martial arts used in self-defense, was practiced around 3 BC in what is modern-day Kerala. The monks took this art of self-defense forward, giving birth to modern-day martial arts. Chaturanga, a popular board game around 6 AD, is theorized to be the precursor to modern-day chess. With the passage of time, many indigenous sports have survived and enjoy active participation and support across the country. Some of the more prominent ones include Jallikattu, Pittu, Gilli Danda, Kho-Kho, Carom, and kite flying. India has been well represented at both the Olympics and Commonwealth Games. At the Olympics, India had mastery over field hockey, winning gold medals in 1928, 1932, 1936, 1948, 1952, 1956, 1964, and 1980. If there is one sport, one passion that brings Indians across the globe together, that would have to be cricket. With the arrival of the East India Company, cricket was introduced to the shores of the subcontinent, and from there evolved a love affair between the Indian and cricket. The rest is history. World Cup wins in 1983, 2011, and a T20 victory in 2007 are remarkable achievements. However, the passionate Indian fan, sometimes unforgiving, wants to see more silverware, and hopefully the wait will not be too long. Money is pouring into Indian sports. With the success of the IPL in its 13th season, cricket has been taken to unprecedented heights. Following from the success of the IPL, other sports have followed suit, such as badminton, table tennis, tennis, basketball, kabaddi, hockey, and even volleyball. On the 74th Independence Day of India, let us remember those sportsmen that have done the motherland proud. The tricolour must rise in every sports arena, bringing in glory to India. Jai Hind.
Greetings on India's Independence Day. Robust and resilient, two words to describe India's economy. A stable economic performance embedded in deep spirituality and enabled through an intricate system of parliamentary democracy. Planning and growth have been systematically pursued since 1950s and has enabled a large population to benefit from rural credit, employment generation, SME support, land reforms, and institutional structures for poverty alleviation. South Africa and the African economies can emulate here. Today, the service sectors, the digital sectors, startup skilling, higher education, infrastructure, health, and nutrition are high growth areas with a focus on well-being and access. The Indian economy is a statistician's delight and a nightmare too. It's a challenge and an opportunity to capture a vast informal sector. Books on the Indian economy could most easily hold a record for being live documents with maximum possible revisions and reviews. Let's see the size in perspective. A population of 1.3 billion, a GDP of 2.6 trillion, a growth rate of between 5 to 7%, the fastest growing trillion-dollar economy, the fifth largest in the world, on track to becoming a $5 trillion economy with stable macro fundamentals. With 58% of the population getting stable employment through agriculture, and internet access still to reach 50% of the population, the digital age presents a high untapped potential for agro-based growth. Understanding the Indian economy in 2 minutes is virtually impossible. We've still attempted this virtual video, so do share it widely with your friends so that the next time you visit India, you do so with an economic bent of mind. For more information, you may log on to the portals of the Government of India websites. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Indian Consulate Durban for giving me this opportunity to present some of the tourism policies of India in the recent past. India is home to some of the world's oldest civilizations. The nation has residents who speak more than 15 official languages, follow a variety of religious traditions, and live in a multitude of urban and rural centers. From the humid tropical south to the rolling plains of the Ganges, to the foothills of the Himalayas. The huge country's geography is as diverse as its population. As a result, millions of international and domestic tourists explore India annually, strongly influencing the national economy. India is looking to the future by building the world's best tourist destinations, starting with the world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity. The statue is a tribute to the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who united India after its independence. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, tourism generates 9% of India's GDP in 2018, which used to be about between 4 to 5% before 2014, and provided 42 million jobs, 8.1% of its total employment. The increase of tourism activity in India can be contributed to various factors, such as our Prime Minister, who has carried the flag of being the brand ambassador of Indian tourism. Whichever country he visits, he connected with the Indian diaspora and requested them to encourage at least one family to visit India. This appeal certainly seems to have worked, considering the results I've just shared. Normally, foreign dignitaries were hosted at Delhi or Agra. However, in the last 7 years, dignitaries from across the world have got a first-hand experience of India's hospitality in different parts of the country, which has promoted Indian culture, heritage, and diversity on various levels at the world stage. Most recently, India hosted the US President Donald Trump at Ahmedabad and organized the event Namaste Trump. In the recent past, Chinese President Xi Jinping was hosted at Tamil Nadu's Mahabalipuram, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. PM Modi hosted Japanese President Shinzo Abe at Kashi, where he also performed the Ganga Aarti and feasted on a traditional Banarasi thali. During the last visit of the Chinese president, he was welcomed in Ahmedabad, where they visited the Sabarmati riverfront. French President Emmanuel Macron, during his India's trip, visited Varanasi and Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh with PM Modi, while the German Chancellor Angela Merkel was hosted in Bengaluru's Bosch Research Center. Israeli PM, who was on visit to India, was also hosted in Ahmedabad, while the Canadian PM Justin Trudeau visited Golden Temple in Amritsar, Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat and Mumbai. First Lady of South Korea Kim Jong-suk was a special invitee in 2018 to witness the Diwali celebrations in Uttar Pradesh, Ayodhya, rekindling the centuries-old connect between both the countries. This showed the diversity of Indian tourism. India has a lot to share for every kind of tourist, and it was well demonstrated over the last 7 years. Now, looking at the typical foreign tourist, one of the biggest motivation has to be the introduction of e-visa facility to more than 140 countries for tourism purposes. Ease of travel impacts on choice of tourist destinations. As a result of the new visa policy, about 56,000 arrived on e-tourist visa during October 2015. And in the previous year, same month, October 2014, only 2,700 odd tourist visas were issued. As if all this was not enough, the episode of Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls and Prime Minister Modi on National Geographic showcased the wildlife conservation aspect of India at Jim Corbett National Park. This reached out to an audience who may have been ignorant about this aspect of India. I hope I have been able to highlight some of the tourism initiatives by the Indian government in the recent past and have excited you to visit India at some point in the future. Thank you, Jai Hind, Namaste, and Happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much. Now we will have a dance performance by Vishwa Shakti on Des Rangila. Thank you very much to the Vishwa Shakti team for that wonderful performance. Now that we have come to the end of today's Independence Day program, I would like to invite my colleague, Ms. Shasti Harinarayan, for the vote of thanks.
Namaskar. On behalf of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, it gives me great pleasure in rendering this afternoon's vote of thanks on the very special occasion of India's Independence Day. I would like to express deep gratitude to His Excellency High Commissioner of India in South Africa, Mr. Jaideep Sarkar, Consul General of India in Durban, His Excellency Mr. Anish Rajan, Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Madam Miss Ella Gandhi, Miss Archana Sridhar, Miss Prithvi Kapoor Mutt, Dr. Sailesh Joshi, Miss Purvi Raman Akasam, Mr. Jivesh Pushkar Akasam, the team of the Vishwa Shakti Academy for the beautiful dance Des Rangila, Friends of India for those beautiful wishes on this auspicious day of Independence Day of India. Also, I would like to express deep gratitude to all the Indian nationals living in South Africa for their beautiful messages and insights on this occasion. I would also like to express deep gratitude to Ms. Cheryl Banwarilal, Mr. Piyush Khandalwal. Thank you so much, Piyush ji, for all your technical assistance and support in making this online program a huge success. Please stay tuned to all our social media pages to see what's happening next. From me, Namaskar and Jai Hind.